Hello, hello, hello. I'm Hojo.
And I'm Hunnsy.
And welcome to this, the 28th episode of Hojo and Hunnsy'S Hard Rock House, the safe space for old rock gumbies just like us, where we really need to learn never to trailer something for the next episode unless we're absolutely certain it's going to happen.
Yes, I believe we have failed to get a member of FM to come on and talk about something that we said we were going to talk about.
Can you imagine how well things are going when you fail to get a member of FM to come on your podcast?
I know. But let's not rule it out. Maybe the boys in FM are just busy. We will persevere. But unfortunately, for all of you out there that were looking forward to hearing about the madness that was the Kerrang FM Malta trip, you're going to have to wait.
All good things come to he who waits.
Exactly.
I just suddenly thought, I know we can't give it all away, but Andy Barnett's trousers, his shorts on that trip, the guitar player who was with FM at the time, they were absolutely brilliant.
Were they as short as your shorts on the beach with Anthrax?
Oh, shorter.
Shorter?
Yeah, shorter, tighter, and held up with braces over a bare torso.
Oh, my God.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Oh, there's everything wrong with that.
I think that you're not as metal as you think you are if you think there's something wrong with that. I'm not saying for us to be dressed like that, but for somebody to do it, I'm always down with that.
Are there photographs?
Yeah, there are photographs. We went on stage like that. So we've dropped a little tidbit in there, haven't we?
Mm.
Tight, short shorts held up by braces over bare chest.
Sounds good to me. Different times.
Certainly different.
Some might say sad times.
Well, no, I say joyous times. Before, actually, it was 92, that trip, you know, Hunnsy. So grunge had already ruined it, but not for FM. Flying in the face of grunge adversity.
Definitely.
Hats off to Andy Barnett.
And we'll find out about that as soon as we can.
As soon as we can actually get them to pull their fucking finger out and come on the show. They don't like you, Hunnsy.
No, they've got more important things to do than talk about that rubbish. So
I bet they haven't. What could be more important?
Getting on with this podcast, probably.
Yeah, well, I suppose there is that. That'll only be about a minute in, because before we came on air, you were accusing me of being the world's most brutal editor. So even though we've been talking for 4 minutes 47, it'll probably come in at 1 minute 08, because I'll have cut all of it out.
Yeah, like bloody last week's episode, you took out a whole load of section about me going to a Queen gig in a suit.
Yeah, you've been able to tell that story in about 8 seconds, but unfortunately last week it was about 4 minutes. So you went to a Queen gig in a suit, didn't you?
Yeah.
And why did you do it?
Well, I'm not going to tell you because you'll just cut it out.
Try me.
Because I'd been to a christening about 2 months before, and I just fancied wearing it again because I thought, it looks quite good, actually.
Were you the only person in the stadium in a suit?
Probably. There might be some people in hospitality, but yeah, I was probably the only person down in the crowd.
And were you happy about standing alone?
Sartorially, yeah, I was fine. Yeah, I thought I looked good. Yeah.
I think it's quite good to stand alone sartorially, don't you?
Yeah, definitely.
Andy Barnett certainly thinks so.
Yeah. So don't brutally edit this so that people miss all the good stuff, yeah?
Don't butcher it. I'm saying we've held on to the single-digit listener precisely because I take all the rubbish out. I'm like the bin man. I'll take all the rubbish out.
Yeah. Or if you were Joe Elliott, you'd be take out the trash.
Does he sing that ever? I don't know. Is it in a song?
It's Let's Get Rocked, isn't it?
Is it the line, take out the trash?
Yeah.
I've never heard that. Where is it? What part of the song?
It's in the bit where he's getting told off by his mum.
Oh, I don't know any of this. I've obviously not paid enough attention to it. So tell me more.
Well, it's a lyric in Let's Get Rocked.
Take out the trash. It's his mum's telling him off.
He uses the word trash, which I was thinking, that's very American.
Hold on, you're from Sheffield, mate.
You don't take out the trash, you put the bins out.
Come on.
Well, maybe that's why they were so successful in America, because they adopted American colloquialisms.
Okay. What should we call our podcast then to be successful in America? Hojo and Hunnsy'S Hard Rock Condo.
Yeah, could do. We'll rebrand and see if it works.
Anyway, in the meantime, tell me what you've been listening to.
This might be my third Canadian artist in a row.
You do favour the Maple Leaf Mayhem, don't you?
I'm in the Canada wheelhouse at the minute, definitely.
Yeah, why is that?
I don't know. It just might have been triggered by the fact that the last two I've done it. I thought, right, okay, yeah, I must have a penchant.
Yeah, a penchant, definitely.
What's French for penchant?
And also, Maple Leaf Mayhem does roll off the tongue well.
Yeah. The thing is, I don't think I've been listening to anything that you'd call mayhem, though.
Maple Leaf Mellow.
Maple Leaf Mellow. But this lot definitely weren't mellow. Hard rock that had proper melodies.
That was Coney Hatch last week, really. That was hard rock with proper melodies, wasn't it?
Yeah, but these guys in and around the same period, actually. I've been listening to an album that came out in 1982 by Toronto three-piece Santers.
Santers. Okay, so you're going deep cuts here, aren't you, Hunsy?
Yeah. I love the record. I think their first three records were all really good records. I remember buying them at the time and I've got them in my collection. The second reason is because I'm hoping to trip you up for you to go, I've never heard that. So then I can help educate you. And I've forgotten the third reason.
Doesn't matter. What's the album that you've plumped for out of the first three?
Racing Time.
What is that? Is that number one, number two, or number three?
It was number two. Yeah, number two. Their first one came out in 1981.
Yeah.
It was called Shot Down in Flames, which we know is an AC/DC song. They released another EP in 1982. And then Racing Time also came out in 1982.
And the third album was called?
Guitar Alley.
And then when did that come out?
1984. They recorded another one in 1986 called Top Secrecy. But it wasn't released till 1998.
Oh, good.
Keep them keen. So there's two brothers in the band.
So there's Rick
and Mark.
This is news as well that there are two Santers. I thought there were no Santers. I thought Santa didn't exist. I know that. Find out there are two of them.
Try telling your kids that one.
God, that'll be double presents.
So Rick Santers was lead vocals, guitars and keyboards, and then Mark Santers was drums and vocals.
Who was the non-Santers?
That was Rick Lazaroff.
Rick Lazaroff.
No, Rick Lazaroff.
No. It just came out, Rick Lazaroff.
Obviously, he was the bass player.
Were they a power trio, Hunsy? Because that was a thing, wasn't it, when we used to read The Sounds music paper. Anytime there was a rock band that was a trio, they were always a power trio, weren't they?
Yeah, Triumph were a power trio.
Yeah, Rush, power trio.
There's always a power trio.
Funny, isn't it, the terminology?
And they all seem to be Canadian as well, don't they?
Mm.
The Canadians only like having three people in their band.
Yeah, I don't know why.
So the money goes further. I don't know.
Yeah.
So Racing Time, it's a really good record. I loved it at the time when I bought it.
Well, what were the big songs that Santers had? Because I had a little dalliance with Santers. I remember liking them, but it didn't really last long.
Racing Time, they had a track called Mistreating Heart, which was a melodic.
I don't remember that one.
Road to Morocco was a big song on this album, I think. Winter Freeze.
No, it can't have been that record. It must have been different. Did they have an album with a barking dog on the cover? Or is that completely wrong?
Barking dog on the cover?
Yeah.
Racing Time is like a posterised image of a steering wheel and a hand on it.
Oh, yes, I remember that, yeah.
Guitar Alley was a photograph of them three on the front.
Where have I got this idea of a barking dog from?
Aren't you thinking of Wild Dogs by the Rods?
No.
If anybody knows what on earth Hojo's talking about, then please just let us know.
Please help.
His mind's going. They are still playing. They do Firefest Festival in England, which is that AOR festival.
How do you think Firefest works, Hunsy? Do you know anything about that festival?
All I know is it's an annual AOR festival that takes place at Nottingham Rock City.
Every time I hear about Firefest,
yeah,
there are bands that are pretty hardcore 80s rock groups that you have to be really into your music to know. This is a strictly for connoisseurs kind of thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
And if that's the case, where does the money come from to pay to get all these obscure bands over?
There's clearly an audience for AOR.
How many people go to Firefest? Have you got any idea?
I don't know.
Nottingham Rock City holds probably, what, 1,200 maybe?
I think they've started moving it around to different venues now. Last year's was in Manchester Academy.
Who headlined, do you know?
The three headliners, I think we talked about this on the last pod. The three headliners were Heavy Pettin.
I might have cut that bit out.
Coney Hatch were the special guests.
Yes.
And then the Saturday was Robin McCauley. And the Sunday was Hurricane. I think it's been going 10 years now.
So it's kind of like a British version of those cruises that you always hear about. But it's on dry land, obviously.
Yeah, I think that's a very good way of describing it. It's all AOR.
Why have we never gone, Hunsy? I mean, not that I'm the world's greatest AOR fan, but that would be reliving your youth, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
I think you could have a lot. You'd be in absolute AOR heaven, wouldn't you?
I've looked at it. Timings just haven't worked.
Your wife wouldn't go with you, would she? She wouldn't be seen dead at something like that.
No.
So you'd have to find someone to go with.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Who'd be your first choice? Think carefully before you answer.
Philip Wilding, probably.
Oh, thanks.
What? Well, not you. You don't like AOR.
I just said I'd like to go and relive my youth, but you didn't pick up on the hint.
Did I?
Oh,
Well, maybe we'll see who's on this year, and then maybe we'll go.
it would be funny.
We could record a pod from our crappy hotel.
Oh, we could do it live from the show, surely.
We could actually promote the pod while we're there. We could do a little bit of guerrilla marketing. That would be quite good.
Is this going to be another thing like the FM interview that we just talk about and it never happens?
Right, I'm going to say it now. Me and you are going to go to Firefest 2025. I don't care who's on, but I hope...
Has it been announced?
No, not yet. I think it's too early, yeah.
Okay. We'd have to try and get guest tickets, wouldn't we?
Yeah, it's going to be Thai Keto and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, would you put your hand in your pocket for a ticket?
Yeah.
Oh, you would?
Yeah.
That's nice.
But you wouldn't.
Well, I don't know. Depends how much.
For you, it wouldn't just be the ticket cost, would it? It would be the flight.
No.
It would be the flight, the hotel, and also...
It starts to tot up, doesn't it?
Yeah, you wouldn't like that, would you?
I'm not sure I would.
No. I think we should go.
Well, if anybody has been to Firefest previously and is listening to this, email us in and tell us how good it is.
Yeah, I know a few people have been. In fact, there's a photograph of one of our single-digit listeners that's put on our Facebook page.
Firefest?
Yeah, with Santers.
Brilliant.
Because I think they played there a few years ago.
So there you go. So it's 6 degrees of separation. You were listening to Santers, and we've ended up talking about Santers being at Firefest.
Exactly. But anybody out there who doesn't know Santers, go and check them out.
What kind of music is it, Hunsy?
There's a bit of Rush in there.
Really?
Yeah, guitar sound, early Rush.
Wow.
There's a bit of Boston in there. It's hard rock, but done with a very melodic spin on it. I would check out Racing Time and Guitar Alley. Their second and third records, really good melodic hard rock albums.
Very interesting. I always say I should go and have a listen, and then we usually get back for a week, and I've just failed singularly.
You never do. And you've got to go and find out what that album sleeve is with the dog on the front.
Yes.
I'm trying to think of albums with a dog on the front.
Well, again, let's put it out there to the single-digit listener.
Do they get a prize?
I'm sure we could dig up something.
You've got a load of crap that you want rid of.
Yeah, exactly. That was usually what radio stations used to do.
Yeah, just give a load of crap away.
Oh, just give a load of shit away that got sent in. I did really well out of it. I think I might have told you this. I was sent a Fogger album by Piccadilly Radio when I won a competition on the air when I was about 12.
Yeah, you got the hat, didn't you?
No, I got an album. I got Night Shift.
Yeah, but did you not get the fog hat?
No, I had to buy the fog hat many, many years later.
Right, okay. But you got Night Shift.
Pretty good thing to win, isn't it?
Yeah, that's awesome.
I'd never heard of them either. I like the look of them on the cover. The minute I saw that record, I went, I think I'll probably like this, because I always like a band with a walrus moustache man.
Yeah, but that sounds like an album that was sent, and they went, what's this shit? Let's just give it away.
Somebody at Piccadilly Radio, we've got, who are these fucking hairy-arsed idiots? Never heard of them. Send it out as a competition prize.
Exactly.
But it all worked out well. I guess you could say it worked out well. That was part of my lifelong obsession with rock music, right there.
It made you happy, didn't it? So that's all
Yeah.
that matters. What have you been listening to?
Well, Hunsy, it's not Foghat's Night Shift,
We've already done that.
but it is a rock album.
Thank God for that.
I bet you wouldn't expect me to listen to it, although perhaps I have given you the odd hint that this is one of my little weird things. Nobody would expect me to like this kind of music, but every so often I do indulge in a little bit of shred.
Oh, God, no, really?
Do you hate shred?
I don't hate it. I don't know, I just find it a bit... You know, like those types of people who go in art galleries and look at paintings and sort of analyse every brush stroke and all that sort of thing. Oh, for fuck's sake.
You don't like that?
No.
Okay. What's the correlation between that and the shredder? It's a bit like a competition to see who's got the best technique and see who can play fastest and all that. Is that what you mean?
Yeah, but then there's fans of shredding heads who, instead of just listening to the music, will analyse what the fingers are doing.
The technique.
Yeah, just listen to the music, man. If you like it, brilliant. You don't have to know how they're playing it. I do find it a bit willy-waving.
Okay, I understand. The counter-argument to that, though, Hunsy, is if you are a tremendously gifted musician...
Like me and you, yeah.
If you're a seriously gifted musician, is it not natural that what you want to do is explore the outer limits of your technical dexterity?
Wouldn't it depend on whether you're that way inclined in terms of showing off? What I mean by that is that I guarantee you Malcolm Young from AC/DC was how did you describe it again? An incredible musician.
That's an interesting debate then. What's the definition of an incredible musician?
Yeah.
And I think you're right. There are probably lots of different ways that you can interpret what is incredible. Malcolm Young was incredible at being able to be metronomically tight, wasn't he?
Yeah.
He wasn't playing anything that a million other guitarists couldn't play.
Yeah.
But he had a way of playing and an ability to lock in with Phil Rudd. Phil Rudd shouldn't be underestimated in that equation.
Oh,
because
God, no.
in my opinion, AC/DC without Phil Rudd is always a poor version of AC/DC.
I agree. And Malcolm Young. The minute Malcolm sadly passed away, that was it.
Yeah, do you think that Stevie Young isn't really cutting the mustard?
To be honest with you, I haven't really got an opinion. I haven't seen them with Stevie Young. So
Did you just check out once Malcolm was gone?
Yeah. In the same way that T-shirt says David Lee Roth is Van Halen, I'd have a T-shirt saying Malcolm Young is AC/DC.
It's a fair point.
Just to go back to the shredding thing, I get it, but I'd rather listen to and watch Paul Kossoff play guitar than watch Yngwie Malmsteen.
And so would I.
Sorry, I got that wrong, didn't I? Yngwie J. Malmsteen. Just so you don't confuse him with all the other Yngwie Malmsteens.
The man who unleashed the fucking fury when somebody on a plane annoyed him.
What's that story?
Do you not know it?
No, I don't.
It's brilliant. There's an audio recording of it. It was years ago. It was in the 80s, and Yngwie was on a plane, and he gets into some altercation with somebody, and I'm not sure if it's a fellow passenger, a female, or it's one of the cabin crew.
Had alcohol been taken?
Strong drink had clearly been taken. The thing escalates quite quickly, and the woman's going, "You, sir, need to behave yourself." And he just gets more and more belligerent. And at one point, she obviously says something that really upsets him, and all you hear him saying with this brilliant Scandinavian accent, "You've unleashed the fucking fury!" You've unleashed the fucking fury. And when my wife, the lovely Louise, gets angry about something, she often says, "You've unleashed the fucking fury."
Very good.
Good diversion into that. We still haven't talked about who I was listening to because we're debating the merits of shred. I get what you're saying. I would rather listen to Paul Kossoff than Yngwie J any day. But having said that, there are also people in the world of shred who I think are really emotional in their playing.
Right. Okay.
They're not just technical.
Right.
And the guy I've chosen today is somebody who I think fits into that category.
Go on then.
Well, it's probably not a great surprise that it's Steve Vai.
Steve Vai.
Steve Vai, who I think it's fair to say wears the crown as the king of shred. Is that fair?
Yeah, I think I first saw Steve Vai when I saw Frank Zappa.
Oh, wow. So that's really long time ago.
Yeah, I got dragged along to a Frank Zappa gig.
And did you go, "Who's this kid?" Or did you just go, "This is an unholy noise"?
No, I was just going, "Who the fuck's that on guitar? He's incredible."
Because he would have been about like a real kid, wouldn't he?
Oh, yeah. I didn't really follow his career after that. And then all of a sudden he pops up with David Lee Roth and then he pops up with Whitesnake. I'm thinking, that's the same guy. He's gone all hair metal. Very odd. I do think the Whitesnake thing was odd. I could see the David Lee Roth thing. He probably went, right, I need to find someone who I think is better than Eddie. Maybe it was an ego thing. You know, like if you get dumped by your girlfriend, the thing you want to do is go and find a hotter girlfriend. So just to piss off your other girlfriend that dumped you. I don't know whether that was Dave's thinking and getting Vi involved, but the Whitesnake thing jarred with me a little bit. For me,
I don't think it was a perfect fit either. But what's interesting about Vi is while he's king of the shredders, he's always been open to other ways of playing music. Because you know he was on that fantastic Public Image Limited song, Rise.
Oh, brilliant.
You know that song? May the road rise with you.
Yeah, I knew that.
Incredible. Yeah. A million miles away from shred. So Vi has always been open to lots of different kinds of music.
Yeah.
And here, good name drop now. I don't think we've mentioned my daughter Lauren Order, have we? But my daughter Lauren Order is a musician, and Steve Vai contributed to one of her songs.
I know this story. Didn't she tell him to go and re-record it?
Not re-record it. I think she wasn't quite happy with the way it sounded. I think she asked him if he could change something, which, bless her, that's the creative artist right there, isn't it?
Didn't Joe Satriani teach him how to play guitar?
Joe Satriani was Steve Vai's teacher, yes, because the reason the album that I've been listening to, which is Inviolate, which was his last studio album, took a long time for us to get to telling anybody what the album was, but it was Inviolate, which came out in January of 2022, which is quite frightening because that means it's over 3 years ago, and it feels to me like that record came out, I don't know, 10 months ago.
Yeah. I think the only solo album that I did listen to for a while was that Flexible album.
Oh, really? I thought you were going to say Passion and Warfare, because that's
No.
the one that everybody talks about, isn't it?
Flexible was the one that I was first. I went, oh, I'm going to. Oh, that's the fella. All right, okay, I'm going to listen.
Yeah. So, Inviolate, have you actually listened to it?
No, I haven't. You are preaching to the unconverted.
Yeah. Well, 9 songs, clocking in at under 50 minutes.
I was going to say 4 hours.
4 hours, 29 minutes, and 18 seconds. No, fairly concise and to the point. 9 songs, 46 minutes. So most of them run to probably an average of about 5 minutes. 9 5's 45, yes.
And are they...
It's instrumental.
Are they songs per se?
This is where I think Vai'S scores so heavily. His instrumental tunes are very melodically oriented. First 2 tracks, Teeth of the Hydra and Zeus in Chains, have got, lo and behold, melodies you can hum.
No.
Yeah, I think so.
Wow, okay.
And obviously, the playing is, to steal a phrase, off the scale.
Yeah, it would be.
Because I don't think anyone can deny that Steve Vai knows his way around a guitar. But it's always, in my opinion, to the benefit of the song that he does the shredding.
Right.
I guess that might be a little far-fetched, because if you don't like people ripping the shit out of guitars, then clearly you're not going to like this kind of music, are you?
No, but you're telling me that it's not all how fast you can go.
I don't think it is at all, no. There are 1 or 2 songs on there that you'd be some expert hummer to get your lips round them, but there are definitely some.
Give me a situation of when you think I should listen to this record. And what I mean by that is making a chili or driving down the M1.
I would say, 1, never when your missus is there.
Well, that applies to anything I listen to right next.
Yeah, okay. So I haven't narrowed the field. I would say quite late at night, after 11:30 at night.
I'm normally in bed by 9.
Yeah. No, but when you've had a good week and you go, oh, it's Friday night, the whiskey sours are coming out. Then you start playing some music. Then you start Facebooking your mates going, remember this brilliant song.
Yeah.
And then when that's all calmed down and other people have had to retire hurt.
Yeah.
And you're just trying to mellow down before you go off to bed.
All right, okay.
But still be metal.
Yeah, I'm getting you.
Make sure the mood lighting's correct.
So when I've had a night out with my mates and I've come home, I'm a bit pissed. She knows I'm pissed. I walk in the house, she goes, right, I'm going to bed. So she goes off to bed and I might watch a bit of crap telly for half an hour. And then I might go, actually, I'm just going to pour myself a little whiskey.
Yeah.
And maybe just chill out for a bit, put this on.
Do you have mood lighting in your living room?
Yeah, I do.
Get the mood lighting going.
Okay. Dry ice?
Well, if you've got any.
I've got a smoke machine that we use for the band.
Could you set that up in your living room? Can you imagine what your wife would say the following morning?
Well, she might come down halfway through.
She might. I've called the fire brigade.
Smoke alarm's going off. What are you doing?
And you know what you'd say, wouldn't you? Because you'd be a bit in your cups.
I'd just go, Hojo told me to do this.
No, you wouldn't. You'd go, yeah, call the firehouse, baby. Yeah. And start dancing like Paul Stanley.
She might unleash the fury.
The fucking fury.
The fucking fury, yeah. Who plays on it? Can I have a guess at who's on it?
Yeah, have a guess. That's a good idea.
Based on, going back to the Zappa thing, Zappa was only ever going to choose amazing musicians to play with him, wasn't
Of course.
Now, I'd like to think that Steve Vai is of the same vein. A bit like Prince, isn't it? You've got to be good to be able to...
You've got to be tremendous to play with Steve Vai, but there'll be hardy perennials, won't there? People he's worked with for a long time. So who are you going for?
Nicky Six is not going to be on
this. He's not there. Don't look for him. He's not there.
Ricky Rocket from Poison is not going to be on drums.
He's not being asked to play drums on this record. Who has been asked to play drums on this record then, Hunsy? There are 2 that I'm totally not surprised to see them as credited drummers.
I'm thinking that Steve's going to go back to either his Zappa days or his David Lee Roth days. I'm going to go, Terry Bozzio's got to be on drums.
Absolutely, Terry Bozzio's on.
And bass got to be Billy Sheehan.
Oh, you know your stuff, sir. Hats off.
Sheehan is incredible. Who else is on the record? I haven't got a clue.
Well, to be fair, Steve gets in on the bass act himself on certain tracks.
Right.
And then there are 2 people that I've never heard of. Henrik Linder, forgive me, Henrik, never heard of you.
Okay.
And Brian Bella. Sorry. That was a brilliantly childish joke. Brian Bella
Right, okay.
These are people I don't know, but probably if I was more muso-y, I probably would. But the other drummer who I wasn't at all surprised to hear was on this was Vinnie Colaiuta, who was also one of Zappa's go-to guys.
I think that Brian Bella fella, I do think there's a Zappa connect. I think he might have played with Dweezil.
Oh, okay. I'm going to go and look that up afterwards, see if that's true.
Because I do like Dweezil Zappa. Very clever young man.
I like Moon Unit. Do you remember Valley Girl? That was a brilliant song, wasn't it?
Well, Rod's favourite artist ever is Frank Zappa.
Rod Smallwood, Iron Maiden manager. Zappa goes with smoking prodigious amounts of dope, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Hand in glove.
Hand in glove. Yeah.
What does that say about Rod?
I don't know. Just likes Frank Zappa, I think.
You don't want to get in trouble, do you?
No, I don't. Let's move on.
So there you go. Anyway, Inviolate, Steve Vai, his last studio album. There's a brilliant photo on the cover as well, which features the Hydra guitar. Do you know about the Hydra guitar? It's one that Steve designed.
Oh, okay. I just imagine it's got like 19 necks on it or something.
Only 3, but 3's quite good.
Yeah, 3's quite good.
I've interviewed Steve on a number of occasions, and he's an absolutely lovely fella. But the Hydra guitar is quite a thing. So if anybody hasn't seen it, go and have a look at the cover of Inviolate.
He was on that Alcatraz album, wasn't he?
He was, actually.
I remember seeing the video. Remember that God Bless video?
Yes.
With Graham Bonnet, wasn't it? Yeah.
He's had quite the career, really, hasn't he?
Yeah, God, he's done loads, hasn't he?
Yeah.
He's a hard-working lad, isn't he?
He's done that G3 thing with his mentor, Joe Satriani and Eric Johnson. He had his own thing called Generation Axe. Zach Wilde did it. Betancourt played with him, all these guys. He's always got something on the go. This latest thing that he's out on tour was doing this thing called Beat, which is him and 2 of the guys from King Crimson doing King Crimson albums from the 80s. Yeah.
Very busy man. Probably too busy to have dinner with you.
No, he's always got time, Steve. He's really nice. I've got lots and lots of time for Steve. He's a tremendous man. Always got time for a chat.
Well, let's get him on here.
I say always. But if he doesn't want to do our podcast, you know what that means, don't you, Hunsy?
No.
Well, it's you that's the problem, because he talks to me all the time. So if he turns the podcast down, it can only be you.
That's harsh.
Well, I'm not saying it's going to happen. Do we want to put it to the test? Are you man enough?
Yeah, definitely.
You're man enough for me to send the email?
Yeah, send the email.
And if he says, I don't think so, Hojo, then we'll know it's you. It's not like he's looking for work, is it?
Exactly, yeah. Does he do much interviews and press, Steve? He comes across as someone who might be quite selective in terms of...
Well, I don't know. Do you think it's selective to do lots of interviews with me? It's the polar opposite of selective.
Well, no, it isn't, because he trusts you.
Oh, that's nice.
So therefore, if someone goes, Steve, we want you to do an interview for insert magazine title, and he goes, right, okay, who's the guy who's doing the interview? That's not me trying to do an impersonation of Steve Vai, by the way. Who's doing the interview? Can you try and
do an impersonation?
No, he's from California.
He's from New York.
New York, okay. Oh, no, I'm not going to try.
Hey, man.
Who's doing the interview, yeah?
Who's doing the fucking interview?
Who's doing the fucking interview, yeah? And then the person goes, it's Howard Johnson. Oh, yeah, man. Fuck yeah. Fuck yeah. I love Howard. I fucking love him. Oh, my God.
Your New York accent's actually quite good.
Yeah, I fucking love that guy. He's fucking...
Get him on.
Get him. Yeah, of course I'll do the fucking interview. So when you send the email to him,
yes,
he's going to say yes. But then he might go, who's the other fella that you do the podcast with?
And then when he's listened to it, he might go, I can't fucking understand that guy. What's he talking about?
You sounded like, was it Cecil B. DeMille there? Was it that?
I want to be in the movies.
I'm going to be in movies. No, seriously, here's a challenge for you. How long have we been recording for?
What, right now?
Right now on this.
Okay.
In an effort to get Steve Vai on, we'll give our single-digit listeners an extended episode 28. Actually, I'll tell you what I do. I've just looked it up. The length of this Steve Vai album that you've just been talking about was
46 minutes and 40 seconds.
Right. Make the podcast 46 minutes and 40 seconds.
God, that's a challenge, though, isn't it?
I'm setting you the challenge.
Wow, that is a challenge.
And then when you send it to Steve, you'll go, Steve, we've made a podcast exactly the same length.
Exact same length as the Inviolate album.
In the vain hope that you'll come on and talk about it, yes. And I could list all the track titles in a New York accent as well.
Yeah, if he comes on, you could do that as a special party piece for Steve.
Exactly.
All joshing aside, my friend, I do love that record. I really do think it's a killer Shred album, but Shred's kind of doing it a slight disservice. It's so much more than that.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes.
Does the lovely Louise like this record?
Oh, God, no.
No, okay.
Oh, no. But you know that she doesn't really like any guitar solo. Steve's on a sticky wicket there, isn't he?
Yeah, he is, yeah.
It's going to be hard to appeal to the lovely Louise.
I'm going to listen to it, definitely. I'm going to do exactly what you said. Obviously, I'm not drinking at the minute, so I'll have to wait a bit. But I know.
That's so disappointing.
I know. But I might find a moment, and I will let you know when I've found that moment. But only if you go back and listen to Santers, Honeymoon Suite. Who else have I said you should listen to, but you probably haven't bothered?
Coney Hatch, I've listened to it before.
Pretty much everything I talk about, you never listen to. So
Black and Blue.
Yeah, you never listened to them, did you? I bet you never went and listened to Strength by Enough's Enough. You never did that.
No, I didn't do that, no. I did go and listen to Without Love by Black and Blue.
And what did you think?
I thought it was okay. You know, it's quite a good pop rock album, whatever you want to call it.
Pop metal.
Pop metal. Petal.
Yeah, petal.
Yeah, it was petal. That wasn't too bad. Hey, before we go,
yes,
I'm excited because, you know, next time we record, you know where I'm going to be.
You're going to be in Portugal.
Portugal!
Yeah.
Yes, I'm a bird flying south for the winter.
Yeah.
The next time we hook up, I shall be in an entirely different location, 16 hours drive from my house. From the house that Ted Nugent can never know about.
Are you going to go and try and find the guy that we talked about in a previous pod who does the leg guitar?
Air leg guitar man, yes. Yeah. I'm going to go to the local village fete and hope that they've been booked again. It'd be a travesty if they weren't.
If they have, take photographs and videos.
Oh, I will do.
Yeah.
Most definitely. So there you go. So next time we speak, I shall be in sunny Portugal, my friend.
Be lovely. I'll still be here in freezing cold, grey, pissing down with rain, miserable England.
We all have our crosses to bear.
We do. And on that bombshell, that is the end of this week's.
And I'm going to try and bring it in at 46 minutes and 40 seconds.
Seriously, have a go. See if you can do it.
I'm going to give it my best shot.
Right, I'll let you go.
All right, mister. It was good fun today. And I'll see you au Portugal.
See you next week.
See you then.
Bye.
Bye.